Welcome music lovers. Join us today on an electrifying journey into the life of Dimebag Darrell, the iconic guitarist whose blazing riffs and larger-than-life persona shaped the landscape of heavy metal. From his explosive performances with Pantera to his tragic and untimely end, this documentary delves into the life and legacy of a true rock legend. So let's dive in. Dimebag Darrell, born Darrell Lance Abbott on August 20, 1966 in Grand Prairie, Texas, in the United States of America. Born the second son to Carolyn and Jerry Abbott, a country music producer, with an older brother named Vinnie Paul. Despite their parents' divorce in 1979, Darrell's family life remained happy, living with their supportive mother Carolyn in Arlington. Darrell frequently visited his father Jerry for guitar lessons nearby, fostering his early musical talent. At the age of 12, Darrell started playing guitar, receiving a Les Paul-style Hondo and a Pignose amplifier as birthday gifts. Influenced by bands like Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, Kiss, and Van Halen, he would mimic their styles in front of a mirror, even though he couldn't play initially. His father Jerry taught him Kiss songs, and Darrell also learned from country musicians who recorded at Jerry's studio. Before Darrell got his first guitar, his brother Vinnie had already started playing the drums. Vinnie outshined Darrell on drums, leading to an early rivalry. Their first jam session, lasting 6 hours, revolved around "Smoke on the Water." Inspired by Alex and Eddie Van Halen, the brothers became inseparable as musicians, forming a strong bond through their shared passion for music. At 14, Darrell won a guitar contest at the Agora Ballroom in Dallas, impressing judges including Dean Zelinsky, founder of Dean Guitars. His mother had to accompany him as he was underage. His exceptional performance led to numerous victories in other contests, prompting organizers to ask him to judge instead so others could have a chance to win. Darrell also joined the Kiss Army fan club with his neighbor and future girlfriend, Rita Haney. Their first rock concert together was a Kiss performance, with Darrell citing Ace Frehley from Kiss and Eddie Van Halen from Van Halen as his primary influences. In 1981, Pantera was formed by the Abbott brothers, Darrell on guitar and Vinnie Paul on drums, alongside high school classmates Terry Glaze also on guitar, Tommy Bradford on bass, and Donny Hart on vocals. By 1982, Glaze switched to vocals, and Rex Brown replaced Bradford on bass. Initially sharing lead guitar duties with Glaze, Darrell soon became the permanent lead guitarist, impressively mastering songs like "Eruption" and "Crazy Train." He adopted the stage name Diamond Darrell as a nod to the Kiss song Black Diamond. Initially influenced by Kiss, Van Halen, and Judas Priest, Pantera started with a glam metal style, complete with spandex, makeup, and hairspray on stage. Signed to Metal Magic Records, created by Darrell's father under the alias Jerry Eldon, Jerry also managed and produced the band. Pantera's debut album, Metal Magic, dropped in 1983 when Darrell was just 16. A review in a Texas music magazine noted Darrell's solos for their unique, authoritative delivery, diverging from conventional musical structures. Pantera's evolution continued with albums, Projects in the Jungle, and I Am the Night, in 1984 and 1985, maintaining their glam metal style. Inspired by Metallica and Slayer, Darrell favored a heavier sound, leading to conflicts with vocalist Terry Glaze, who departed in 1986. After unsuccessful replacements, Phil Anselmo joined, and the band released Power Metal in 1988, marking a departure from glam metal. Darrell's fast riffs stood out, setting the stage for their future sound. Pantera faced numerous rejections before landing a major deal with Atco Records, thanks to talent scout Mark Ross being impressed by their live performance. Their 1990 album, Cowboys from Hell, produced by Terry Date, established their distinctive power groove style, blending thrash metal intensity with southern rock influences. It became a blueprint for groove metal, achieving gold and platinum certifications. Touring extensively for nearly 2 years in support of album, Cowboys from Hell, with Darrell gaining a reputation for his wild antics and heavy drinking. In 1992, they released Vulgar Display of Power, a heavier refinement of their groove metal sound, which debuted at number 44 on the Billboard 200 and received critical acclaim. During this time, Darrell underwent a transformation, adopting the stage name Dimebag Darrell, and a new appearance with a dyed goatee, a razor blade pendant, cargo shorts and sleeveless shirts, which he would maintain for the rest of his life. The new name was coined by Phil Anselmo, referencing Darrell's refusal to carry more than a dime bag of cannabis at a time. All of Pantera's albums until 1994 were recorded at Pantego Sound, owned by the Abbott brothers' father, Jerry. After Vulgar Display of Power, Jerry closed Pantego Sound and opened Abtracks in Nashville, hoping to pursue country songwriting. Pantera's third major label album, Far Beyond Driven, was recorded there, with the band spending most of their time in Nashville writing and recording. Despite expectations for a more commercially friendly approach, Pantera aimed for an even heavier sound, resulting in an album that debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, selling 186,000 copies in its first week. The lead single, I'm Broken, from album, Far Beyond Driven, was inspired by Anselmo's chronic back pain, leading to heavy substance abuse during the tour. Tensions within Pantera grew as Anselmo isolated himself more and more before performances. For their next album, The Great Southern Trendkill, recording sessions were held separately, with Darrell, Vinnie, and Brown at Chase and Jason's studio, while Anselmo recorded vocals at Trent Reznor's Nothing Studios. Darrell experimented with new guitars, incorporating earlier riffs and compositions like the outro solo to Floods, which he had previously recorded as a lullaby for his girlfriend. On May 7, 1996, Pantera released album, The Great Southern Trendkill, peaking at number 4 on the Billboard 200, featuring some of their most extreme and lowest-tuned tracks. Anselmo's drug overdose in July that year created a lasting rift within the band. Despite Anselmo's side projects like Down, the tension widened during touring and recording for their next album, Reinventing the Steel. During recording, Darrell and Vinnie's mother Carolyn was diagnosed with lung cancer, and passed 6 weeks later, profoundly affecting them. Released on March 21, 2000, Reinventing the Steel also peaked at number 4. Pantera's planned 2001 European tour was cancelled due to the September 11 attacks. Thereafter, Anselmo's focus was on side projects, leading to the band's separation, marked by the release of a greatest hits album, The Best of Pantera, in 2003. Darrell and Vinnie, saddened by Pantera's separation, formed a new band, Damageplan, to avoid legal battles over the Pantera brand. With Patrick Lachman as vocalist and Bob Kakaha on bass, they signed with Elektra Records in 2003. Their debut album, New Found Power, released on February 10, 2004, saw moderate success. Damageplan embarked on the Devastation Across the Nation tour in 2004 to rebuild their fanbase, intending to record a follow-up album. However, their plans were shattered when Darrell's life was tragically taken at a show in Columbus, Ohio, later in December the same year. Throughout his life, Darrell engaged in various projects and collaborations. He bonded with country legend David Allan Coe, leading to the formation of Rebel Meets Rebel, an album blending country and metal released in 2006. Additionally, he collaborated with Rob Halford on Light Comes Out of Black for the Buffy the Vampire Slayer soundtrack and recorded Caged in a Rage for the film Supercop. Darrell contributed guitar solos for Anthrax, King Diamond, and Premonition, among others. After his passing, his solos were featured on Nickelback's tribute track, Side of a Bullet. He and Vinnie also performed as Gasoline, known for covers and original songs, and he recorded tracks like Country Western Transvestite Whore with local musicians. Posthumous releases include Dime's Blackout Society and the Hits EP. Originally rooted in glam metal, Darrell transitioned to groove metal in the 1990s, significantly shaping its development. Despite his father's ties to country music, his main influences were heavy metal icons like Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Kiss, and Van Halen, with Ace Frehley and Eddie Van Halen being particularly impactful. He revered Randy Rhoads for his lead techniques and credited Tony Iommi for inspiring his riffs. Pete Willis of Def Leppard also left a significant impression on him, also admiring Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top for his bluesy style, which influenced his own playing. He also drew inspiration from contemporary metal guitarists like Kerry King, James Hetfield, and Zakk Wylde. Endorsing Dean Guitars until 1994, then Washburn Guitars until 2004, Darrell also designed signature models like the Dime 333 and Culprit. He returned to Dean Guitars in 2004, designing the Razorback series. Known for his roundel amplifiers, he later partnered with Crank Amplifiers, designing the Crankenstein. He collaborated with Dunlop on the Dimebag Crybaby from Hell and Dime Distortion, and with Seymour Duncan on the Dimebucker pickup. Darrell's legato technique, use of harmonics, and innovative tuning methods set him apart, with several of his solos ranked among the greatest by Guitar World. Personally, Darrell and his partner Rita Haney, whom he met at 8 years old and began dating in 1984, chose not to marry. They purchased a home together in Dalworthington Gardens, Texas, where they kept a pet goat with a dyed goatee to match Darrell's. Darrell and his brother Vinnie also co-founded the Clubhouse, initially envisioned as a rock and roll themed golf course but later transformed into an all-nude strip club in northwest Dallas. The Clubhouse attracted a diverse clientele, including touring artists, NASCAR drivers, and professional athletes from teams like the Dallas Cowboys and the Dallas Stars. After the Stars' 1999 Stanley Cup win, the Abbott brothers hosted a celebratory party where the cup was infamously dented. Tragically, on December 8, 2004, during a performance of their first song at the Alrosa Villa nightclub in Columbus, Ohio, a disturbed fan named Nathan Gale stormed the stage and fatally shot Darrell multiple times. The band's head of security and a fan attempting to intervene were also killed in the attack. 3 others were wounded before police arrived and fatally shot Gale. Darrell, aged 38, was pronounced dead at the scene. His public memorial drew thousands of fans and notable artists such as Eddie Van Halen and Zakk Wylde. He was buried alongside his mother Carolyn in Arlington, Texas, with Gene Simmons donating a Kiss casket and Eddie Van Halen contributing his original Bumblebee guitar to be buried with Darrell. Vinnie Paul, Darrell's brother, was buried next to them after his death in 2018. In late 2020, a fence was erected around the burial site to prevent vandalism, prompted by previous incidents of defacement. The Alrosa Villa nightclub was closed and subsequently demolished in 2021. And there you have it. As we conclude this powerful journey through the life of Dimebag Darrell, let us remember his unparalleled talent, boundless energy, and enduring impact on the world of heavy metal. Though his life was cut short, his music continues to inspire generations of fans and musicians alike, ensuring that his legacy will live on forever. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content just like this. Take care and bye for now.